Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Meteorologist Hunter Force here. Welcome to the Weather Desk, the show that happens on the 13 News Now Plus app every Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining me today. We have a few good topics to talk about regarding, the weather. We have some heavy rain for the west. We have an atmospheric river heading into Southern California right now. We have a severe weather threat for areas of the middle of the country heading into the day tomorrow and Saturday as well. And eventually that severe threat is going to push its way into the Hampton Roads area. So that's something we're going to have to watch heading into Sunday evening and very early Monday morning. But let's start with the heavy rain threat that's impacting Southern California right now. That is our first topic. It's going to be a rainy few days for areas around Los Angeles. I mean, they certainly do need some of that rainfall, but they normally don't average a ton of rainfall throughout the entire year. But it is their rainy season, so it is good that they're starting to see some of that rain. But you'll notice a lot of the West Coast getting in on some rain right now, especially Southern California, Los Angeles here. They were just getting impacted with, a ton of heavy rain. Oceanside, San Diego, you guys were getting in on some heavier downpours. Of course, areas higher up in the elevations, they're starting to see some more of that snow. There are a few winter storm warnings in effect for a few of these areas. But again, a very rainy start to the morning there in Southern California. If we're just able to take this full screen really quickly, just so everyone's able to kind of get an idea of, kind of the heavier downpours that are going on in this area. And of course, a new study does find that atmospheric rivers, the severe weather event most known for dousing California and other parts of the West, have been getting bigger, wetter, and more frequent in the past 45 years as the world warms. So what are atmospheric rivers? Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandagis explains.
So what exactly is it? Like an actual river on land. An atmospheric river is a large, narrow, and continuous band of moisture, in most cases originating from tropical latitudes where moisture is more readily available. On average, this giant band of water vapor can be quite narrow, only 200 to 400 miles wide. This conveyor belt of moisture then pushes inland, encountering enhanced terrain or mountains, forcing that moisture to rise and condense, producing prolific rainfall amounts and, if cold enough, snowfall rates. Depending on how long they persist, these atmospheric rivers can be responsible for highly impactful weather events, including floods, mudslides, and blizzards. For 13 News Now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandagis.
Yeah, mudslides are definitely a big issue when it comes to rainfall in Southern California, especially after they just had these large fires. And when you get rainfall in a large amount of rainfall in a short period of time in these burn scar areas, that's when you could really get some of these landslides. It's because the vegetation helps kind of keep the soil secure with their roots. But when those are burned and that security system is kind of taken away in the mountainside, and that's what can really help create these mudslides, which is definitely a big issue as we go throughout the rest of the day today. And we're going to continue to see the rain falling throughout the morning into the afternoon, snow up in areas in the mountains. But by the time we get into our Thursday afternoon, we'll start to see it come down just a bit and things starting to get better for areas around Southern California. And here's the rainfall potential. They could see anywhere from, half an inch to an inch in a lot of these areas, around 2 inches in areas near Banner and La Jolla Imago near Oceanside and San Diego. But again, every month, areas in Southern California, they don't see a whole bunch of rain. March is part of the rainy season. It's the last month of the rainy season. I think in areas around Southern California average about 2 inches for the entire month of March. So this is definitely, a good amount for a few areas, especially near San Diego and Banner and Oceanside, getting up to an inch, possibly 2 inches in some of these areas. But again, it's going to be an issue for these areas if they do see too much rain in a short period of time, and that could lead to some of those landslides. But that's not the only severe weather we're seeing in the U.S. We do have a severe weather threat for the middle portions of the United States as we head into the day tomorrow, and especially on Saturday. Definitely a chance to see a tornado outbreak in a few of the southern states, so that's something to watch. The same system that's affecting California right now is going to eventually make its way into the upper Midwest, and the low pressure system making its way to the northern areas of the United States, just to the north of Wisconsin. But you'll notice a big cold front is attached to this low pressure system, and this is what's going to help create some of that, severe weather in areas of the south, and that's going to eventually push its way towards our area once we get into Sunday evening and early Monday morning, before it all pushes off the coast by Monday afternoon. But not only is that low pressure system going to help create stormy weather, but also really strong winds. Look at these wind alerts throughout the entire country. We have wind advisories from Chicago down into St. Louis, high wind watches from Rapid City down through Dallas, and high wind warnings for areas around New Mexico and northern Texas, because they could see gusts, 50, 55 miles per hour. As we go throughout the next couple of hours heading into our Friday afternoon, look at some of these gusts in Texas. Dumas, Texas, 64 mile per hour gusts, 55 in Lubbock, pushing 50 mile per hour gusts in Oklahoma City, upper 30s to around 40 mile per hour gusts in Springfield, Memphis, Monroe, Kansas City, and it's going to stay gusty heading into our Saturday morning. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour, pushing 50 miles per hour in a few areas. In parts of Kentucky, 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts, 40 in Cleveland, pushing 45 mile per hour gusts in Green Bay as we head into our Saturday afternoon. And that's also going to extend down into areas around Tennessee, into Montgomery, Alabama, Panama City, Florida, gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour. And it's also going to stay breezy heading into the day here on Sunday, because ahead of that cold front, we're going to have a really strong southwest wind. So we're going to continue to see gusts 20 to possibly 30 miles per hour. Here's our futurecast with the graph, and you'll notice that system from California makes its way into the center of the United States. And all of these are definitely going to have the chance to become severe in the middle of the United States as we head into Friday evening, and it's going to go overnight into Saturday morning, which, that's kind of the worst time period to have a tornado or a severe storm, is because everybody's sleeping, no one's awake, so they may not hear or get the notification that there's, a tornado watch, a tornado warning. But as we head into the afternoon on Saturday, this is when we have another chance to have a severe weather outbreak, and even a higher chance to see some tornadoes as we head into our Saturday afternoon in Mississippi, Alabama, portions of Tennessee. And there will be a good amount of wind shear. We're going to have winds coming in from the south at the surface, and then higher up aloft, we're going to have winds coming more out of the west-southwest. And when you get that directional shear and even speed shear, that's when you could get that, twist in the atmosphere, that spin, which it can eventually lead to tornadoes forming. Here's the severe weather outlook heading into Friday. Biggest threat will be right around St. Louis, so portions of Missouri, Illinois, southern Iowa, very northwest portions of Tennessee and Kentucky. And then the threat gets a little bit less as you go further out. But even still, in this orange area, that's a pretty high threat for some severe storms. So Owensboro, areas right around Nashville, Chicago, Omaha, Springfield. So here is what this means here in red. Widespread severe storms likely. Strong tornadoes are possible, so that's an EF2 or higher. Widespread wind damage, which is very possible, especially because this low pressure system is extremely strong. And then destructive hail up to 2+ inches is possible. That's not the only day, though, where we have the chance to see some severe weather. Saturday, widespread severe storms are likely once again heading into Mississippi, Louisiana, portions of Alabama, and even areas in the panhandle of Florida, up into Atlanta and Tennessee, and even the scattered threat, this yellow threat here, stretching all the way up into areas in Ohio and portions of Pennsylvania and West Virginia as well. There's always, a couple of severe risk categories. It goes from level 1 to level 5. And over the next couple of days, level 4 is what we're going to see for both days in a few areas, so definitely on the higher end. And of course, it is Severe Weather Awareness Week, and we're no stranger to the impacts here in Virginia. If you missed yesterday's topic, here's meteorologist Taylor Stephenson with a deeper look at the categories of severe thunderstorm warnings and storm outlooks.
Let's talk about the criteria for severe storms and additional damage tags that highlight the intensity of some of the strongest severe storms. Severe storms need to meet at least one of two requirements, either 58-mile-per-hour plus winds or hail 1 inch in diameter. To put the hail size into perspective, 1 inch in diameter is about quarter size. It's common that severe storms meet both criteria. If the severe storm produces winds of at least 70 miles per hour and or golf ball sized hail, it would get the considerable damage tag. The destructive damage tag is reserved for the most intense severe storms that produce winds of 80 miles per hour or greater and or baseball sized hail. Only severe thunderstorms that have the destructive tag will trigger the wireless emergency alert that pops up on your phone. Destructive severe thunderstorms are rare though. Every year, only 10% of severe storms fall into that category. For 13 News Now, I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson.
Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, we definitely have that chance tomorrow and Saturday to have those severe thunderstorm warnings with that destructive tag, with winds possibly up to 80 plus miles per hour. And not only is it going to be windy from those severe storms, but also even if you're not experiencing a thunderstorm at all, it's still going to be windy because that low pressure system is so strong. Those isobars are really, really close together. So you have a large change in pressure over a shorter period of time, which leads to those stronger winds, which is exactly what we're going to see throughout the next couple of days, not just here, but really throughout a good portion of the eastern half of the United States. But let's take a look at the tornado risk areas for March. And you'll notice this is kind of right where we're expected to see those severe storms and tornadoes. You have the greatest risk from Texas and Oklahoma all the way over into Alabama and portions of Georgia. And again, for the day on Saturday, this is really where we're expected to see some of those tornadoes and severe storms forming. For the day tomorrow, right around Illinois, portions of Tennessee and Missouri, St. Louis, you guys have have the chance to see tornadoes in the month of March, but that risk isn't as high as areas further in the south, though that risk still is there as we go throughout this month. But still, it's going to be a big day for you guys tomorrow, because normally you don't see, as many tornadoes throughout the month of March, but this is the time period when you normally start to see the tornado season expand. March is when we start to see severe storms more frequent and more often. And then we really start to see those tornado averages the highest in the month of May before they start to come down a bit going throughout the summer. And then the lowest amount of tornadoes in December. But again, because it's March, that's when we start to see these really, really big dips in the jet stream, which could lead to these severe storms. And that's exactly what we have been seeing and what we're going to see again heading into the day tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday here in the Hampton Roads area. And so a lot of people are going to be under these severe weather conditions throughout the next couple of days. Even a tornado outbreak is possible heading into the day tomorrow for areas in the south. So definitely something they're going to have to watch as we go throughout the day. But here in Hampton Roads, we're going to have a nice warm up, but stormy weather is on the way for this weekend. Let's take a look at our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, and you'll notice a lot of the U.S. will be above average as we go from the 31st or the 21st to the 27th of March. And here in Hampton Roads, we're in the darker red, so we have an even greater chance of seeing above average temperatures. That expands all the way up into New England, but even out towards Chicago, Minneapolis, the Dakotas, down into Texas, they have a chance to see some above average temperatures, even down in Florida. But you'll notice out towards the west, either right around average temperatures or slightly below average temperatures as we head towards the end of the month, which is wild to think about that March is already almost over. I feel like it flew by just like that. Over the next 10 days, temperatures here in the Hampton Roads area really shoot up. Saturday, Sunday, we're pushing 80 degrees. 75 on Saturday. This will definitely be the pick of the weekend because there's not that chance to see some of that severe weather as we head into Sunday evening, even though most of the day on Sunday will be dry and it will be a little bit warmer. But again, as we head into Sunday evening, that's when we see that cold front pushing through. That'll drop temperatures heading into Monday and Tuesday before back into the low 70s by the middle and end of the work week. And then still, even by next week into next weekend, still seeing temperatures in the lower 60s. So not bad. Saturday, here we are, 45 degrees, waking up in the morning around 46. Partly sunny, so very warm. A chance we could see a few isolated showers, but overall, it's looking like a really nice first half to the weekend. By the time we get into Sunday, temperatures even warmer, upper 70s, pushing 80 degrees. But there's that rain chance, really high, 80%. It's going to be windy and warm ahead of that front. So even when you're not experiencing any rain or any thunderstorms and, you're just seeing clouds up in the sky, it's still going to be really, really breezy from what I was explaining before because of that really strong low pressure system that isn't even going to be really close to us. It's going to be well to our north, but since it's so strong, it's still going to be able to give us those gusty winds throughout the day. On Sunday, gusts 20, 30, even 40 miles per hour aren't out of the question. And then we have that late day severe weather threat from the evening into early Monday morning. And this threat expands all the way from Pennsylvania down into the Carolinas and even into Georgia as we head into our Sunday evening and early Monday morning. So it's not just us who has to worry about this threat. It's really a lot of the eastern seaboard. And timing and instability still in question. I think timing is getting a little bit better, especially between the European and GFS model. Definitely looking like late Sunday into early Monday morning, we'll see those showers lingering. But that's really looking like the main time frame for now. So here's what to expect heading into Sunday night into Monday. Gusty winds throughout the entire day. That isolated severe storm threat Sunday night into Monday, and periods of heavy rain certainly not out of the question. And as we take a look at the GFS model over the next couple of days, heading into the weekend, you'll notice the start to Sunday, it's going to be a cloudy start. Of course, it'll be a warm start, though. We're going to have really strong south winds. That's going to help bring up our temperatures. And as we get into our Sunday evening and afternoon, you'll notice that cold front starting to approach. So a chance we could see a few isolated showers 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. But then we really start to see that heavier rain Sunday night into early Monday morning, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Even by 1 o'clock in the morning, still seeing some heavier downpours before that cold front pushes off by early to mid-morning on Monday. And then we clear out for the rest of the day and temperatures continuing to drop. Here's a look, though, outside right now. We don't have to really worry about any severe weather here for today. You just kind of have to worry about the fog that's outside right now. I mean, it is just brutal out there. You can't even see any buildings downtown at our Thompson Creek Window Company Skyview. Temperature is 46 degrees. Winds out of the north-northeast at about 7 miles per hour. Here's our current visibilities. Very low in a lot of spots. A half a mile in Virginia Beach, a fourth of a mile in Norfolk, a half of a mile in Hampton, Emporia, Franklin, Wakefield, Suffolk. All visibilities are under a mile. 1 mile in Chesapeake, better in areas of eastern North Carolina from Elizabeth City down into Edenton and Roanoke Rapids. But even in West Point, Williamsburg, Petersburg, you guys are seeing a few areas of patchy fog as well. And this got progressively worse throughout the morning. By 4 or 5 o'clock, it was kind of fine. A few light areas of fog, but by 8, 9 o'clock, it really exploded. And now we are seeing dense fog in a lot of areas, especially around the south side. Temperatures out there, well, they're rather comfortable, I suppose. We're in the mid-40s. It's 46 in Virginia Beach, 46 in Norfolk, 44 in Williamsburg, 46 in Ahoskie, 57 in Edenton. And for today, we'll be in the mid to upper 50s, low 60s, closer to the coast. So 61 in Norfolk, 57 degrees in Virginia Beach, 62 in Chesapeake, 66 in Franklin, 64 degrees in Wakefield. Eastern North Carolina, we'll be sitting in the mid to lower 50s today, so a cooler day. 56 in Malfa, 51 in Chincoteague, 53 in Cape Charles for this afternoon, 62 in Williamsburg, 57 for Urbana and Gloucester, 52 in Sunnybank, 55 degrees for Hampton. And for eastern North Carolina, a few degrees warmer than everywhere else, but you're not going to be as warm as what we saw yesterday. Some of you guys were pushing the upper 70s and lower 80s. That must have been feeling great. 73 in Eatonton for today, 69 in Ahoskie, 72 in Hertford, 65 from Currituck down into Kill Devil Hills, 67 in Mania. So honestly, a really comfortable day to go out for a nice walk on the beach. 69 degrees in Elizabeth City. But also tonight is the total lunar eclipse, or also known as the blood moon. So full eclipse begins at 2:26 in the morning. So you got to either get up early or stay up late because it is right smack in the middle of the night. Maximum eclipse right around 3 in the morning at 2:58. Full eclipse ends at 3:31 in the morning, and then partial eclipse ends at 4:47 a.m. So certainly a sight to see, but is the weather going to cooperate for us here in Hampton Roads for us to see it? Not really. It's going to be mostly cloudy, 43 degrees, mostly cloudy. So there's a chance that we could see, a few breaks in the clouds, and we'll be able to see the lunar eclipse if you're up. But it's not looking like it's going to be the best weather in the country. Definitely other places are going to have way better visibility than we are, which is very unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. Here's our futurecast throughout the rest of the day. We'll be in the upper 50s around Norfolk. Virginia Beach, you guys may stay in the mid to upper 40s, low 50s throughout the entire day today, but you'll notice eastern North Carolina, you guys are in the upper 60s, low 70s, 55 in Williamsburg, 46 in Virginia Beach, 54 in Suffolk, 65 in Hertford. And for our Friday morning, it's a cloudier start. Winds will be out of the north and the east, so that's a cool breeze, especially because it's coming off of the ocean, and those temperatures are already in the upper 40s. 45 in Virginia Beach, 42 in Elizabeth City, 43 in Cape Charles, 42 in Petersburg. By the afternoon, we're staying chilly. Upper 40s, lower 50s. It is not going to be the best end to the week unless you like cooler, cloudier weather. Then you're in luck. 46 degrees in Virginia Beach. A chance we could see a few isolated showers or sprinkles in the afternoon. And by the time we get into our Friday night, temperatures aren't moving much, though. We'll be in the mid 40s by the time we get to about 10 o'clock. 45 in Norfolk, 43 in Virginia Beach, 46 degrees in Gloucester. And as we take a look at the next couple of days, here's our 5-day forecast. 60 degrees for the day today. Mostly cloudy again, very foggy out there for a lot of us. We get even cooler heading into the day on Friday, and still going to be mostly cloudy. A chance we could see an isolated shower or a sprinkle, but of course not a washout. But then you'll notice heading into the weekend, our temperatures really soar, and we're back into the mid to upper 70s, pushing 80 degrees on Sunday. Isolated shower is possible for Saturday, but again, not going to be a washout. A cloudy start to our Sunday, but by the time we get into the evening, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we're going to start to see that cold front pushing through, see heavier downpours Sunday night into early Monday morning. We have that chance to see an isolated severe storm or two, so that's something to keep in mind. And then we'll see those showers lingering into Monday morning, which is also St. Patrick's Day. But by mid to late morning, if you have any plans, we start to clear out. Temperatures still remaining comfortable, around 62 degrees. And then we see plenty of sunshine as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. 64 degrees for our high on Tuesday and 72 on Wednesday. But you'll notice our low temperatures are starting to get a little bit more comfortable. We're in the mid to upper 40s. Even low 60s heading into Sunday morning. So right when you wake up and head outdoors, it's going to be a comfortable start. You can wear shorts. We'll be a little bit cooler to start off our day on Tuesday in the lower 40s, but then we're back into the low 50s by Wednesday, and things are starting to look up. 50 degrees to start, 72 to end on Wednesday. Not looking bad for the middle of the week. That's it today for the Weather Desk. I really appreciate you joining me. Again, you can find me on social media. Facebook, meteorologist Hunter Forst. Instagram, Hunter Forst, HUNNERFORST. And again, thanks for joining me today. Craig is back tomorrow, so he'll be taking over. And again, I appreciate you joining me for the day today.